Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon's Demize here at Pax Unplugged. Today we are on the floor here with Ray Wehrs of Calliope games, and we're here to talk about Station Master, which is a Kickstarter that is ongoing right now.
Correct.
And has probably some of the most beautiful locomotive art that I've ever seen. I will be giving you some close-ups of that as well throughout the video. Honestly, this is a gorgeous game, and as soon as I saw it, it caught my eye, and I'm like, I have to talk to you guys at Pax Unplugged to see if I can check it out.
I'm glad the art did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Stop you in your tracks, right?
It did. I saw an ad on BGG, and it was just like, that, I need to see what that is. Like, you know, that is absolutely gorgeous artwork of trains, two things that I love put together. Let's go. And then I learned yesterday a bit about how the game is played, and it just made me want to back it even more. Like, it's really cool. So why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. So Station Master was originally published by Mayfair Games.
Yeah.
Right. And I used to work there many, many moons ago. And it was actually one of my favorite games that they published. Right.
Yeah.
But it had some real issues with it.
Yeah.
One, the artwork was very questionable. Let's just say, leave it at that. Right?
Okay.
But the gameplay was awesome. It's one of those games where there's a really high amount of player interaction, meaning, you know what? I'm going to get you this time, right? You got nothing coming. This is all about me, all right?
Yep.
So Station Master really has that ability to put strategies to work for you to push yourself way ahead and actually try to mess with other people along the way, right?
Yeah.
And so if you don't like a kind of game where you're going to get jabbed every once in a while, this probably isn't your game.
Yeah.
But if you like messing with your friends the way that I do, you're going to love this game, right?
And the nice part about this, from everything that I've heard about it, is that it's not Munchkin style cutthroat.
No.
It is messing with people, but in a way that, like, you can totally, like, see what's going on.
You can plan for it and strategize with it, right?
Which is what I like about these kinds of games.
Yeah, and so well, the best way for me to get into it is let me show you how to play.
Yeah,
let's
do it.
So the objective of the game is to score the most points. And you're going to score points by putting passengers, onto trains, all right? Now, the passengers will have values on them from a -1 to a +3.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when you score, this is a multiplication game, okay?
Yeah.
So there's a chance to where it may appear that somebody's running away with the game.
Yeah.
When in fact, because it's multiplication, it's really not that far ahead, right?
Yeah.
So you just want to keep that in mind. So never become disenchanted by where the score might lead you.
Yeah.
Okay. So so you're gonna take a passenger, you'll place it on a train, right? That's one of the things you can do on your turn. The other thing that you can do on your turn is actually take a rail car and place that on a train. Now you can do one or the other. You can't do both. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're either gonna place a passenger or you're gonna place a rail car. If you place a rail car, then you're going to draw back up so that you always have 3 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the rail cars for a second. So the rail cars have a positive value when they're actually played on a standard locomotive or on the executive class locomotive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, there's freight trains. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to put a passenger car on a freight train.
No,
right?
that's usually not looked well upon.
And likewise, there are freight cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, freight cars belong on freight trains.
Yep.
Right. You don't want to put a freight car on an executive class train. It's just not a good way to go.
Especially not this fishy one.
Now, that all depends on who's sitting on the train, though.
True.
You know, if you're on that executive class train, and I don't want you to score points, I'm going to be loading up.
Yeah, as many fish as you can into that barrel.
Put as many negative points on that train as I can is exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you put a freight car on a regular locomotive or executive locomotive, it's worth negative points.
Yeah.
Okay. If you actually put it on the freight train, it's actually worth positive points.
Oh, awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
Vice versa, right? With the regular rail cars,
Yeah.
when you put the rail car on a standard executive or a standard train, it's always worth positive points.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put that onto the freight train,
Yeah.
it becomes a negative value. Okay?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So they switch places. Now we tried to help out with the icons. All the positives are green, all the negatives are red.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, talking about the icons just a little bit, on the top of the locomotives is a blue number.
Yep.
That number will tell you two things, right? How many passengers can actually ride on the locomotive, right?
Yep.
How many different pawns. And it will also tell you how many rail cars can be attached to that locomotive.
Yeah.
Now, when the number of rail cars are attached to the locomotive that match the number that's on the locomotive, then that locomotive leaves the station.
Yeah.
And that's when you're gonna score the train.
Yep.
Okay. So it can have up to the number of passengers equal to that number, right? Or the number of rail cars. So if it doesn't have the maximum number of passengers on the train, the train can still leave. It's all about the rail cars. Okay.
It's not waiting for anyone else. It's just going to go.
Yeah, it's not waiting for anybody else. Exactly right. Okay. So then there's also executive class cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's two numbers on executive class cars. On this particular one, there's a +7 and a -4. Okay. If you place this rail car, onto an executive class train, then that is worth the positive value.
Yeah.
Okay. However, if you put it on any other train, it becomes a negative.
Yeah.
So on this particular car, it becomes a -4. If you actually put it on a freight train, it's also worth a -4. So it's always worth a negative if it's not on an executive class train.
That makes sense.
So those are the three types of rail cars.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the deck is filled with different types of cards to mess with people.
Yeah.
Okay. So this particular one is an uncouple.
Yeah.
Right. So if I played an uncouple on my turn, I can go ahead and grab a card from any one of the trains, as long as it's one of the last ones, and I can actually take it off and discard it. Okay.
Yeah.
This one here is transfer passengers. Okay. So let's say that I'm loading this train up, and I'm getting it the way that I want it, right? And you're riding right next to me.
Yeah.
Well, I can go ahead, put my transfer passenger down, and move you right off the train. Right?
It's like you thought you were getting all these points.
Yep. Exactly. Now let's say that, everybody in the game, they forced me off the train.
Yeah.
Right. It's like they moved my passenger off, and they, the train is all full.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have a standing room only card. Right? So if I play that, then I can go ahead and play another one of my passengers on a train that's full, right?
Yeah.
So the deck is filled with all different types and styles of cards like that allow you to manipulate the trains and what you can do. So you always have 3 cards in your hand.
Yep.
And you're going to pick one of the 3 to either play on the train or to affect the train.
Yep.
Or you're going to play one of your tokens.
Passengers,
Yep. Now, why the -1?
Yeah, I was going to ask. There's one token that has a -1 on here, and I'm curious about that.
All right. So, if somebody is playing a train, right, and you're going along, and you want to try to soak somebody in, right, and you know that they're coming out after you, and they're playing negatives, right. So this one here, let's say negative, right. And then a negative, and they're seeing that I'm on there, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is a multiplication game.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
they've
love
loaded this thing up with negatives, right? So I've got -3, 1, so there's 4, plus another 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, right? But it's a -11.
Yeah.
So if somebody thought that I played my 2 on there, that'd be a -22 points, right? However, I played my -1. So negative times a negative.
That's 11 points right for you.
11 points that we soaked them into, right?
Oh,
so
I love that.
I can bluff with the different characters that I actually have in my passengers.
Oh, that's great. That's that gives you the recourse, especially if at the beginning you're getting ahead and people are just wanting to pile up on you, and it's
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna try to go for this one. Don't worry, and then it becomes the -1, and like.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Part of it is knowing who you're playing with. So
Yeah.
you want to be able to really kind of dupe them in sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so when the bluffing aspect of this game can be really, really high.
Yeah.
And learning to manage your ones, right? Even though there are not a lot of points initially, it's really a good way to bring somebody in and start betting on a train that you may have cards to alter later.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And so it's really cool that way.
Yeah, and so when how does the game end? Like what happens to end the game?
So when the locomotive deck is depleted, right, and there's 13 locomotives in the deck, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as all 13 are played, the game is over.
Okay, when they're played, not when they leave the station.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, when all 13 leave the station.
Oh, leave the station.
When they all leave. So you're going to play the entire locomotive deck, right?
Awesome.
And that's it. And so, some people are not comfortable with actually doing it. I mean, it is simple math. It's really addition and simple multiplication, right? But if there's a lot of people who still aren't comfortable with that, right? There is an app that's online, the Station Master app.
Yeah.
And what you do is you'll actually enter in the engine and then the exact rail cars.
Yeah.
And then you'll record each of the pawns and it tracks for you.
The points. There we go.
And it's beautiful. It was done by Thunderbox Games.
I mean, all of it this looks amazing.
If you wanted to take a look at the locomotives, these are it. So this is, it's about the age of steam. So they're all steam locomotives.
It's the gorgeous steam locomotives that you see, and like I said, the artwork is the first thing that got me into this game, and seeing the cars in person lives up to it 100%. So, especially if you like any kind of train games, and I'm normally a fan of pick up and deliver type train games, but I think this is going to be one that I play a lot since it is so quick. I can get a lot of people to play this, and it plays up to 6 people.
It plays up to 6 people, and you'll actually, once you know the game, it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? When you're first starting out, it may actually go up to 40 on a 6-player game. Very unlikely.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there any mechanism for hand management? So you have your 3 cards in your hand, and pretty much the only way to draw new cards is to use those cards.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. Now, there are things, though, that you can do that will... It's not so much managing your hand. It's all about managing the locomotive. Okay.
Yeah.
And the passengers that are actually on there, right? So what we did do is each player actually starts out with a depot card. Okay. Now, you'll notice that the trains themselves start out, the locomotives, they go as low as 3. Yeah. And then they go as high as 8. 8 cards. Okay. As soon as there's 2 rail cars placed onto a locomotive, you can go ahead and play your depot. Now, the depot card, what it does is it allows you to cut a train in half. So if you think that a person is starting to get a runaway lead on you, right? Then what you'll want to do is actually after 2 cards have been played. So let's say that we have our 3 token here. Where's it at? There we go, my 3 token here. Okay. And you think that I'm running away with the score here. Yeah. And I'm just trying to pull some higher cards. But let's say we had a 2, and let's see, the 3, right? And you're not on there yet. I'm up to 4 points, and you still haven't jumped on that train. Yeah. Okay. So now what you can do is actually come in and place down your depot. Now there's still another 4 cards because it's rail cards that can go on this train, okay? But the depot is basically saying, hey, this train left the station. Yeah. It's now at a new station. Yeah. The passenger that was on it needs to get off, okay? Oh, okay. So he's gonna come off and he's gonna score just these 3. Okay. Right? And then then the train starts again from this new position, right? Yeah. This new station.
Oh, that's awesome.
So now everybody's going to start putting their passengers here instead of up here, and this no longer counts up here. However, the total number of rail cars still cannot exceed 7. right?
Okay.
So you still have 4 more that you can go down there, right?
That is really cool. I love that aspect because that lets you like be like, all right, cool, you're getting that. I'm just gonna cut you off right now, and like you're gonna get some points, but I'm gonna cut my losses. Or like if you're playing in a multiplayer game where you like someone's brought that down to 0 or something like that, you could just play that and be like, you guys are getting nothing, and we're gonna keep going.
Now we're gonna keep going. Exactly right. Yep.
That's cool. I think this is. I love the bluffing aspect of this because it can really get interesting, especially with more players.
Sure. Absolutely.
6 players, I can imagine this just being like, sometimes the trains won't go all the way around to you, but like it
does. I mean, you'd be surprised even on the smaller trains, the 3 and the 4s in a 6-player game, because remember you only get to do one action or the other, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So if everybody's concentrated on a 3-point train, that actually allows me to get ahead on a 5-point train, right?
True.
So if I'm playing my tokens and my cards, my rail cards, on that 5-point, while they're messing with that 3-point, everybody's focused on that 3-point. You know what? Don't pay any attention to me. I'm over here.
Don't worry about me over here. I'm not doing anything.
Except racking up points while you guys are messing with three rail cars. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really cool.
Well,
so,
awesome.
That's Station Master.
That is really cool.
On the Kickstarter right now, there's 2 different versions. So what we're seeing here is the standard version.
Okay.
These tokens, they come in 6 different shapes.
Yeah.
Right. 6 different colors. They will be wood, and they're made to stand up like this. Okay.
Yeah, I love this aspect of it. Yeah.
You'll lay them down. Okay. The art is all really done extremely well.
Yeah.
The cards themselves will have linen finish on them. So it'll be top notch. It'll be $25 in the store.
Yeah.
You can get a Kickstarter exclusive edition, which is the bookcase box with the magnetic wrap on it.
Yep.
Right, and then when you open it up, it has a crushed velvet.
Imitating the train cards of the day, right?
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly right. The other thing that we've had a lot of people request us to do is that, they were so impressed with the art, they want to make sure that they can sleeve the cards, right?
Yeah.
So the tokens are fairly large.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is actually build 4 cavities inside the box.
Yeah.
So the cavity sizes, when the cards are actually shipped, the cards will go into the smaller cavity, and the tokens will go into the larger cavity. However, the larger cavity will be the same size as a sleeved card, right?
Okay,
so you'll be able to put, swap the 2 cavities for the way you're storing them, depending on how you want to use it.
That's ingenious because, some people, I usually don't sleeve my cards as much, but I know a lot of people always get like, it's like, is this going to be enough size for the sleeved cards? Whereas like, if it's just perfect for the unsleeved ones, then like it'll like, it won't fit perfectly the sleeved ones, and the unsleeved ones slide around and get messy and all that.
And that's my thing is that, the packaging, you want it to look beautiful, right? But it's really there to protect the components, right?
Yep.
And so we want to make sure that if you're not sleeving your cards, that it does what it's supposed to do. Yes. Protect the cards, right?
Yeah.
And as well as the tokens, the wood tokens, right? Yep. But if you do sleeve your cards, we want you to be able to store those in the same box.
Exactly.
Right? So, by doing this, we'll be able to take care of both sides of it, right?
That makes sense.
Sure that everybody wins.
Yeah.
So that's Station Master.
Cool. And I'm actually curious. You've said that there was you guys did some refinement of the game. So what are some of the things that changed since the original version?
So the 3 big things, right? Yeah. Well, there's actually 4. The art is the biggest change. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal compared to what it used to be. The -1 token is brand new, right? So we added that to the game.
Okay.
Right? So it used to be you had 3 1s, 2 2s, and a 3.
Yeah.
So now you have 2 1s, a -1, 2 2s, and a 3.
Okay.
As part of your tokens, right? The depot card was another addition that we made.
Yeah.
Because we actually wanted to be able to prevent that runaway train.
Yes.
Right. So and because everybody has one at the start of the game, it really becomes part of your strategy when you want to use it. So that was also a big change. A minor change that we made is we reduced the number of locomotives.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was we wanted the game to play extremely well as 2-player as it did with 6-player, right? So by reducing the number of locomotives, we were actually to let the game breathe a little bit and not outstay its welcome for any size of
and that's really important. It's almost an underestimated thing where it's like, some games are meant to be so long.
Right, and this is one of them, right? I mean, we really want this to be 30, 40 minutes tops, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is it's a 20 to 30 minute game. And if it goes past that, then you start, why?
Exactly.
And so, we pulled the locomotives out, we shrunk it down so that the game plays the way it's supposed to play. Right? Yeah, it's really neat.
Cool. And then, so I'm really looking for Station Master. You all should check it out on Kickstarter. But I have one last question for you, a question that we ask all of the people that we interview.
Sure.
What's your favorite donut?
My favorite, no, that's not true. It's a Bavarian cream, right? So the Boston cream, that is my absolute favorite.
I agree. That is right up there with mine. So I completely agree with that.
So did you go across the street to the Amish donut place?
I haven't yet.
You gotta go. You gotta go because it is awesome.
All right, I'll have to go. You guys will see that when I go across the street to get donuts. We ask everybody. Now we'll show you some donuts.
Good deal.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Ray.
Jacob, thank you.
It's been a pleasure, and everyone definitely go check out Station Master. I'm definitely going to, and stay tuned here at Dragon's Demize to get more coverage of PAX Unplugged throughout the week.